Hello, this is the 60th lecture of Revelation and World History. Last time, we finished the lectures on chapters 1 through 7 of Revelation and World History. We have finished the first half of the 12-chapter lecture series and have now entered the second half. We covered very important themes in the interpretation of the book of Revelation. We examined the substantive identity of the two beasts, appearing in Revelation chapter 13. We also identified the figure corresponding to the beast with two horns like a lamb, namely, 666. And the community comprising the 144,000. Furthermore, we historically substantiated the relationship between Gog and Magog and Babylon. And we looked into history to find out what kind of war the Battle of Armageddon was. In this lecture, we will examine the Kim Il-sung and Stalin. Revelation and World History, Chapter 8, Section 3. Kim Il-sung and Stalin. One misunderstanding regarding the Book of Revelation among Bible readers is that they equate the being who destroys 1/3 of mankind with the one who bears the number of the name 666. Two beasts clearly appear in Revelation chapter 13. One is the beast rising from the sea that appears in Revelation chapter 13 verse 1. And the other is the beast rising from the earth that appears in Revelation chapter 13 verse 11. The beast rising from the sea has 7 heads. This refers to the 7 supreme leaders of the Soviet Union. There are 7 of them: Lenin, Stalin, Khrushchev, Brezhnev, Andropov, Chernenko, and Gorbachev. In other words, the beast rising from the sea is Babylon, which appears throughout the entire book of prophecy. Jeremiah chapter 25 verse 11 and Daniel chapter 9 verse 2 foretell that Babylon will reign for 70 years. The Soviet Union was formed by Stalin in 1922 and dissolved during Gorbachev's tenure in 1991. It existed for exactly 70 years. Stalin is one of the 7 supreme rulers of the beast rising from the sea, that is, one of the 7 heads. The beast rising from the earth, appearing in Revelation chapter 13 verse 11, is a beast with 2 horns, like a lamb. It is a nation that gained power from the Soviet Union, which is the beast rising from the sea. This refers to Kim Il-sung of North Korea, who gained power through Stalin of the Soviet Union. Kim Il-sung is one of the 2 horns, destined to rule the beast nation that rose from the earth. The sum of the numbers in the names of the 2 rulers of North Korea, Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, is 666. The statement that 1/3 of humanity is killed refers to the fact that regions accounting for approximately 1/3 of the entire globe and about 1/3 of the world's population came to live in communist countries. Russia was first communized by Lenin in 1917. And in 1922, the Soviet Union was established by Stalin. With the end of World War II, Eastern Europe and North Korea became communist. Furthermore, it refers to the fact that China, Cuba, Vietnam, and others became communist states, resulting in approximately 1/3 of the world's population becoming communist. Stalin is particularly emphasized because he was the figure who spearheaded the establishment of the Soviet Union. The process of Eastern Europe, North Korea, and China becoming communist all took place during the period when Stalin was ruling. That is why he is specifically referred to as one who shakes the earth, who terrorizes the nations, who lays the world to waste, and who destroys cities. Isaiah chapter 14 verses 16 to 17. On the other hand, Kim Il-sung was not a figure who instilled fear in the entire world. but rather a figure who caused turmoil in the Korean Peninsula, the land to which he belonged, and persecuted Christians within the territory he ruled. He started the Korean War. The North Korean Church was called the Jerusalem of the East, even during the Japanese colonial period. During the era of Kim Il-sung's rule, not a single official chapel was left standing. They were all destroyed or forced to close. The image of the beast refers precisely to the fact that Kim Il-sung himself was idolized, just as Stalin had previously idolized himself. Kim Il-sung followed suit with the same actions. Revelation chapter 13 verse 15 states, "All who would not worship the image of the beast were put to death." This indicates the fact that, at least in North Korean society, there is no other god but Kim Il-sung. In North Korea, anyone who officially claimed to be a Christian was either killed or purged, resulting in the complete annihilation of the church. In the 2,000-year history of Christianity, there is no other history of persecution in which Christians were wiped out in a single country except in North Korea. Following Kim Il-sung, his son Kim Jong-il became the supreme leader of North Korea. Even after Kim Il-sung's death, he left vacant the positions of President of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea and General Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea, which Kim Il-sung had held until his passing. He also practiced a so-called rule by last will, governing by prioritizing Kim Il-sung's dying instructions. We referred to Kim Hak-jun's 50 Years of North Korean History. Furthermore, they observed the birthday of the deceased Kim Il-sung as the Day of the Sun, which demonstrates the epitome of idolization. We referenced Wang Jang-yap's "Sunshine that sides with darkness cannot illuminate the darkness." The Soviet Union, one of the two beasts, forming a crucial axis in the fulfillment of the Book of Revelation, has already completed its lifespan of 70 years, and it disappeared. The history that remains now as the fulfillment of the prophecy is the end of the regime ruled by the Kim Il-sung family in North Korea. That time is not far off. The Lord of Hosts has sworn, saying, "What I have planned will surely happen. And what I have planned will surely be accomplished." Isaiah chapter 14 verse 24. We can see the astonishing fact that the description of the Babylonian Empire, recorded in the text of the prophetic books, exactly matches the actual appearance of the Soviet Empire. Through this, it has become clear that the prophecies concerning Babylon, appearing in the books of Revelation, Jeremiah, and Daniel, are prophesying about the same history. In the last lecture, we identified the identity of the seven-headed beast, rising from the sea among the two beasts appearing in Revelation chapter 13. It was the Soviet Union. The supreme leaders of the Soviet Union were Lenin, Stalin, Khrushchev, Brezhnev, Andropov, Chernenko, and Gorbachev, a total of 7 people. The Soviet Union was ruled by 7 leaders, existed for 70 years, and then disappeared. Isaiah chapter 14 records a song about a certain king of Babylon. He is Stalin, one of the 7 supreme rulers mentioned earlier. Stalin is the figure who turned 1/3 of the world into a communist state. He was a dictator who purged or caused the deaths of tens of millions of his own people. In the next lecture, we will examine chapter 9, the sins of the Korean Church. It was the Bible History School.